Good morning, children. How are you all today? Hope you all are doing well. Welcome to 6th class. Children, I teach social studies and we shall begin with some instructions from the principal's desk today. Before I begin our class, make a note that every session in the sense of that day's topic, you need to write down a summary what you have understood and submit it in the office. And at the end of each session, there is an activity or homework which has to be done by you in a separate notebook and should be submitted in the office. So let us begin the class today. Children, you all are fond of looking at the maps. You know what is a map? Have you seen any map? No, you haven't? Come on, let us know what is a map. Children, we come across many kinds of buildings, roads, dams, places, different kinds of things we come across. These all things, when they are presented on a paper with certain important features, they are called as maps. So these maps are of different types. The maps showing the physical features are the physical maps. The maps showing the boundaries of a country and state and your place are called as a political map. The maps showing about a climate of a place are called as climatic maps. So likewise, for different purposes, we make different kinds of maps. But what does a map consist of originally? A map consists of three important features. One is scale, second one is symbol, and third one is the directions. These are the three important ingredients of any map. These three ingredients make a map more useful. How the maps are useful to us? Maps are useful in many ways. Maps help us to identify or locate a place easily. When you travel, you can find the route very easily with the help of a map. When you are completely lost your path in a jungle, maps help you to come out of that forest. Maps help us to find out the suitable location for the construction of a dam or a bridge. Maps help us to locate the important places of the world. In these ways, maps are helpful in different ways. So maps consist of these three ingredients like scale, symbol, and direction. So let us understand about these three ingredients or three features of a map in detail in order to make a map. At the end of today's session, you will make map keeping these three features in mind. The most easiest part of these all three is directions. Every map, whatever you watch or whatever you see, consists of directions. Always a map on the top side will be pointed towards the north and the bottom side will be pointed towards the south. And towards the right hand side is east and towards the left hand side is west. How do we find these directions? I was telling you in our earlier sessions even that when you face towards the east, if you are facing towards the east, so how to face towards the east? It's very easy. The direction in which the sun rises is the east. You know it. The sun rises in the east, isn't it? So if you are facing towards the east, your right hand side will be the south and your left hand side will be the north. Always remember this technique in identifying the directions. Your right hand side will be the south and your left hand side will be the north. and front side facing towards the east. So opposite direction will be the west. So when you have faced towards the east, the back side is west, your right hand side is south, and left hand side is towards the north. This is how you need to find out the directions physically. But when you draw a map, always point north towards the top and south towards the bottom. Remember this. And towards the right hand side will be the east, and towards the left hand side will be the west. On a map, always remember this important feature. Any map you observe, any map, you will find these directions. Even your house map, children, consists of these directions. Without the directions, the map doesn't has any kind of clarity. So maps should consist of direction. Second one is the symbols. The symbols which are used on map are called as conventional symbols, because maps cannot be as big as the reality are. We reduce its size to minimize, we minimize it and bring it onto the paper. So in order to represent various features on a map, we use the symbols. For example, in order to show the railway track, we use this one. This is a symbol used for the railway track. In order to point out the national highways, we use this kind of symbol. In order to point out a post office, this is a symbol used. If it is a temple, it will be the temple. These are the different symbols used in the drawing of a map, which can be found at the end of a map, showing all these symbols, what they specify in a column called as index. There are various conventional symbols used in your textbook. You can go through them and you can find out which symbol is used for which kind of a feature. For roads, for Pakka road, what kind of a symbol has been used? For the school, what kind of symbol has been used? For bridges, what kind of symbol has been used? For petrol pump, what kind of symbol has been used? These kind of symbols will help us to identify those areas very easily. Apart from these symbols, we also use colors, children. Generally, in a map, when you find blue color is used for what? Generally, blue color specifies the water. In a map, when it is painted in blue, automatically it specifies a water body. So colors, different kinds of colors are also used in the drawing of a map, and generally colors are used in the physical map in order to find out or in order to specify the different kinds of physical features. They use brown color, they use red, they use green, they use blue. Green is used for forest, blue is used for water. For mountains, they use brown and black. So different kinds of colors are used, and which color specifies what will be again mentioned in the index. So directions is the first part which a map should consist of. Second one is the symbols, and symbols are specified in the index, which symbol is about what. And third one is about the scale. The scale, because it is not the original size of the area what you have drawn, a scale always consists like this. So 1 centimeter in that scale is equal to 100 kilometers or 50 kilometers, or 1 centimeter, 1 millimeter is equal to 100 kilometers. So when you reduce the original size, you need to make it to a scale. You need to make it to a scale. So it consists of a scale, it consists of the symbols, it consists of directions. These are the three important ingredients which a map should consist of. Now, after understanding these three important features of a map, let me ask you one thing. How many of you can draw a route map from your house to the school? Do it as today's activity. Draw a map, a route map showing your house towards a school. A route, it should show the route. For example, I'll make one for you. See, imagine this is the place, okay, and what it should consist of? It should consist of the direction. So this is the north, this is the north, this is the south, and this is the west, east, and this is west. Our school faces towards which direction? Which direction does it face? Okay, we are facing towards the east. When you face towards the east, what is your right hand side? It's the south, isn't it? So Muhammad Khan Jewelers is towards the south, and this is back gates, our north, and this is east, and this is west. Imagine my house is located here. So from here I need to make a way onto the road. Okay, this is a chaurasa. Okay, from here I should take a right turn, a left turn, and I should move towards this direction. Okay, then there is Pocham Maidan circle. I need to take left from there. Okay, left, and this is the MGM circle. From there I have to cross. I have to cross to this side. Okay, this side, this side, this side, this side, and this is the Mulugu circle, and I reach our school here. This is the school. So this is a map showing the directions from my house to the school. In the same way, you can draw a route map. This is called as a route map because it shows you the route. It's a route map. It's a route map. So you need to draw a map showing the route from your house to the school. And when one of your friend has get down from a bus in the Warangal bus station or in the Hanamkonda bus station, and you need to tell over phone the directions to reach your house. How will you tell? You must tell her, take right, take left, go straight. These are the instructions generally which you follow. Or otherwise, if you draw a map and give it to her, it will be very easy for her to travel with the help of that map. So maps help us to easily reach your house. In the same way, children, also draw in today's homework the map of our school. How many floors it is, use the number of floors, how many classrooms are there. Please draw those number of classrooms. Okay. So this is how we can draw the map of a school, and you can even point out how many children are located in each class, are present in each class. With the help of the symbols, okay, you can point out even how many people are present in each class. If each class consists of 20 members, put 4 dots and mention here as each dot is equal to 5 members. How many dots are here? 4 dots are there. If each dot is 5 members, how many people are there in this class? 20 members. So this is how the symbols and the directions and the scale, these three should be used in making a map. Hope you understood about the features of a map and you prepare a school map and a route map. And see you in the next class, children. Until then, take care and complete the homework. Thank you, children.